Thank you. Hi, I'm SF. Some of you might perhaps know my first book, Varjak Hall. Some of you might have come across that in school, perhaps. Or maybe you've come across my most recent book, Tiger, which is about a tiger. So I have to say, when I was a young Muslim writer myself, many years ago now, there were no books with Muslim characters in them for children. They just didn't exist in this country. It wasn't a thing. My family is originally from the Middle East and the wider Muslim world, places like Iraq, Egypt. I came to live in London when I was 2 years old with my mum. And yeah, they really weren't books like that back then. There still weren't books like that when I was starting out as a writer in the 1990s. So I didn't think a story about a Muslim boy of Middle Eastern background could ever be published. So with Varjak Hall, my first book, I wrote a story about a Mesopotamian blue cat instead. Mesopotamia is the ancient name of the country we now call Iraq, and of course I made him a cat, and that helped too. And that book did get published and went out into the world. And then over the years that I've been a writer, the world has begun to change. In the world of children's books, people have begun to think about questions like representation. Is it all right that there are no books with Muslim characters? No, it's not. And more I began to feel, well, you know what, maybe the world has changed. So with Tiger, my new book, the main character is a Muslim boy of Middle Eastern background, exactly like myself, who lives in London. There are actually 7 Muslim characters from many different backgrounds in this book, characters of all sorts of different faiths and backgrounds, because the world is different now. People do want stories that represent the world that we actually live in. So Tiger has now, as very kindly mentioned, won prizes. It actually appeared on a bestseller list. A book about a Muslim boy was on a bestseller list. This is amazing and wonderful to me. To you guys, this is probably totally normal because you are growing up in this world. But just in case anybody needs to hear it, your stories matter. People want to hear your stories, the ones that only you can write. So keep reading, keep writing, keep trying to get better any way you possibly can. I don't think it will be very long before you guys are standing here handing out awards to the next generation of young Muslim writers.